My name is Ron McNulty. I work in the OGC, the Office of the General Counsel for Ford Motor Company. I've been practicing law for, I hate to say it, for a little over 30 years. A combination of litigation, technology counsel, and in-house counsel.
My name is Shawn Clark. I'm an in-house counsel attorney at Ford. I kind of have a diverse background. Before Ford, I was a programmer, and my family owned a .com business, so I have a very technology-oriented background. So
we're not going to talk about innovation and change through technology. We're going to talk about the important type of innovation, and that's changing human beings, changing us, the way we practice, the way we hire, and the way we conduct ourselves.
That's right, Ron. And because we only have 7 minutes to talk this extensive topic, we're actually going to speak at the exact same time.
No. So that's what I have to put up with. I mean, he's exhausted. Shawn and I interact this way. We have different backgrounds. He comes up with these wacky, crazy ideas all the time, and quite frankly, it's exhausting.
It's not really that exhausting. I do think that we get along at times, but we certainly like to argue a lot.
Well, actually, Shawn, that's a good idea that you just had.
What's that?
We could give everybody a headset. We can give them a switch for your mic and mine, and then they can shut one of us off and listen to whoever they want to listen to.
And at the table talks, they could tell which side they're listening to and argue over which side was better.
In other words, they would shut Shawn down, and I would have the floor. So, yes, Shawn and I are different. And that's by purpose. So what we're going to talk about today, I actually had a couple things I want to talk about, but we just have limited time. So we're going to talk about how I hire, how I choose attorneys, and the type of attorney that I choose. And the one thing that I don't do is I don't hire from a specific school. I think Mike was talking about this earlier. I don't care if they have a litigation background, or I don't care if they have any type of an experience as a lawyer, quite frankly. I'm looking for somebody that's different from me. I'm not hiring myself. If I could solve my own problems, I wouldn't need to hire somebody. The problems that I can't solve, those are the problems that I need help with, and just hiring another one of me is not going to work, right? So I'm looking for somebody that is very much different than me, actually the opposite of me, and as you can see, Shawn and I are pretty opposites. Shawn's obnoxious, and I'm kind of the favorite person, and kind of more appropriate. But that's what I'm looking for, and that's my attitude is that I've heard Mike talk earlier on the early one about longevity and keeping talent. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm concerned about getting the right talent in the door. Having the skills that I don't have, like the IT technology and the computer skills that Shawn has. Shawn is he's a programmer. He's a gamer. He does all these things. Shawn can talk to me and teach me all that stuff. But what I'm interested in is that different person, and I will teach that person to be a lawyer. I will teach that person the lawyer skills. I don't need somebody coming in here with those skills. I can teach them. And I will make them marketable. And if they leave in 3 to 4 years because there's no room to grow in the company, I'm okay with that. The idea is to give them the best opportunity they can and help us while they're in the business with us and working as an attorney with us.
Thank you, Ron. Now, Ron does know quite a bit about blockchain. Don't let him steer you wrong. And when I first met Ron, I knew that he was full of experience. We were both litigation. I did a little bit of criminal. And we started talking about litigation, and he didn't really care. He was actually more interested in technology, blockchain. How could we use this to make our practice better? Our minds came together, and we created solutions that one of us on our own could not make. And that's really the power of diversity, right? Ron and I are very different. We see things differently. He has been practicing law longer than I've been alive. So, sorry, Ron. But
Wait a minute, I don't think that's accurate.
maybe.
Maybe it's accurate, but...
Maybe, but that's besides the point. I think where we're going from is that, I see ads a lot for hiring, and really, I see the same thing a lot. Years of experience, law firm ratio, which school did you go to? Sometimes I even see top-tier law school required. But I think that we need to kind of break away from these hiring algorithms. They're a little bit outdated. There's a lot of value that you can't see in certain people, a lot of skills, and really, when you fill your legal department full of diverse people, that's when you get the most value from your people. They can contribute not only to innovation, but also improving each other. Working with Ron has made me a better attorney, and hopefully Ron working with me has made him a better attorney.
Absolutely. So I kind of pulled a switch on Shawn. I completely disorganized our script that we have up here, so we're completely off script right now.
He's making it hard.
Yeah, but Shawn has handled it well. He's learning, right? What Shawn does is he likes to use the technological term. You heard people talk about how you have to communicate, how you have to use the same language that attorneys understand. Well, Shawn actually uses that misunderstanding as a tool. He uses these terms that I don't know anything about, and so I just have to agree with him, right? So he just gets my agreement. I say, okay, Shawn, go ahead. I guess, you're right. You know what you're talking about. You're the genius. So it's very important that when you're talking to counsel, somebody like Shawn and we have the ability to communicate. So Shawn has to kind of talk down to me. I get that, right? And Shawn already knows the legal language that we need. I want to conclude by saying that I really didn't get to talk about everything I want to talk about, but I want to conclude about saying about this. Disruption is difficult. I get that, right? Disruption requires us to look introspective to ourselves if we're going to disrupt ourselves and do a self-evaluation. We have to evaluate and ask ourselves, are we the right person for the job we're doing? If we're not the right person, can we get the skills and become the right person? It also requires that very tough thing to do to look at your colleagues and say, and your friends probably, and say, are they the right person for the job? Or is there something we can do to get them the skills to be the right person, to do the appropriate disruption that we need to have done? You all here are here because you understand that. You're willing to make the changes that you're willing to make. But we have a whole society out there that is not here and is not willing to make those changes. My advice to them is that next time I do a talk, it's not going to be in front of counsel. It's going to be in front of CEOs and business owners. And my message to them is that if they want to innovate, if they want to be agile, if they want to be competitive with Silicon Valley, then they need to look at replacing their general counsel. I know that's controversial, but that's how I feel. So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, everyone.